Alright. That is in.
Got him.
Wait a minute. I can literally just look at it. Wow, I'm so much taller than everyone in this shit.
Well, it's kind of like it's
kind of
going
descending
up.
order.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Your legs look massive.
My legs are massive.
Like compared to even like I usually think
I have
legs
big legs.
It's like Sanji.
Sanji should be
Tapped out. I've run out of room.
This is a better opening for the episode.
Wait, was that the opening?
Yeah. Thomas, we cannot see you on camera anymore.
Got him.
Got him.
How about now?
Yeah. Sing your little song.
Yeah, yo.
Dreaming,
Don't give it up, Luffy. Dreaming. Don't give it up, Zolo. Dreaming. Don't give it up, Nami. Dreaming. Don't give it up. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. No. This time the story goes. We find ourselves for the grand.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Here's how the story goes. We find out that there's a
Time.
trailer. We find it. Something he'll sing, I'll be king of pirates. I'm gonna be king.
Yu-Gi-Oh! GX!
Yeah.
Gener-
Just, I wanna be the very best. Just start throwing it every 4Kids intro.
I hate people that say they don't like the 4Kids dub of One Piece because it gave us pirate rap. Like, objectively, one of the top.
I will say the two things from the dub of 4Kids brought us was the pirate rap and Mark Derison as Zoro. He's the English voice of Guts, typically, in the movies in the original anime.
Okay.
So how long did the 4Kids dub go on?
It went on to Alabasta, but they skipped a lot of stuff because they were like, we want to get to Chopper because he sells really well.
Because Chopper's hot.
So they skipped a shit ton of episodes.
And you know who voiced Chopper? Barack Obama.
I was gonna say I know his voice in English for the Funimation dub is like Brianna something. I don't remember her full name. And then I know the actor in Japanese is like the voice of like Gash Bell and Pikachu.
Welcome everybody to the 4th ever episode of Read Weens.
I don't know how to read. I don't know if I should tell you guys that now.
I'm London.
It's okay.
This is Pierre. That bald guy over there is Joe.
Hi.
And joining me as always is my better half, Thomas.
Hello.
He is your better.
Thomas Obama.
I'm more like your better quarter because I'm not very tall.
That's true, and I'm fucking massive.
Together you guys make 2 persons.
I feel like I do that by myself.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm the half. We make 2.5.
We make 2.5 men. We should do a show.
Make 2.5 men. You're the people behind it.
We are the executive producers of 2.5 Men.
Who's the half man?
Today we're talking about One Piece, and we're talking about the first 2 sagas, as they pronounce it in Japan.
Sonic wasn't in this.
He most certainly was.
Fuck. You're lying to me.
That one person with the spike powers becomes a big spiky spin ball, and that's kind of like
In the movie?
No.
I know
the
who he's
last
talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember most of what we're going to be talking about today. I'm way too far ahead in One Piece.
I just finished, like, 2 hours ago.
Pierre finished like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, so I'm like,
And
right
Thomas
there.
didn't read it.
Thomas was writing it with Oda.
When he was not born.
Well, I was born a little bit into the East Blue arc.
Yeah, so you were like 2 when he was writing Alabasta.
Yeah, maybe like 3, I think.
It's weird.
And that would explain.
One Piece has been going on for so long. He was, I think, 20?
Was it 23?
23. He was our age. When are you going to start your... We should start a manga right now.
I don't want... See, manga is hard because you have to fucking draw really hardcore. You're like... entire life to do one series.
Have you read Beastars?
Yeah, like the artist who does Beastars, like if
No.
you ever looked at her artwork, it's just like a bunch of weird doodles of
Well, I mean,
furries that she made in middle
I feel
school
like
or something.
with like Jump Plus being like kind of not weekly bound, and also like literally the guy who wrote One Punch Man and Mob Psycho.
I mean, it's possible, but even like something like One Punch Man, how shitty it looks.
We need to start writing a book right now. That's what.
What do you mean? We're movie guys. We gotta make a movie.
Yeah, that's
Right
true.
now,
we
we
need
are
to
not
make.
movie guys.
DDoSer is over a year old now.
Yeah, we gotta do the 1 year anniversary London cut.
The London. What the fuck was the regular cut then?
The melody
Yeah,
cut.
I don't know. That would have been the melody cut. She was like doing all the editing.
But we can have
Then they
Melody
should
edit
put
the London
anything
cut
in
too.
there.
What the fuck is the London cut?
It'll be different. We'll use
There's gonna be a lot
scenes.
more.
It'll be
full-frontal
twice as
movie.
long and more edgy.
All right,
It's
so
gonna be more. We need to make the sequel. I have a script for the sequel that's like 5 pages long right now.
why aren't we doing that
It's
right now?
it's about the trial of the DDoS
Oh boy.
in the tech world.
We should do that.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Pierre's gonna play every one of the tech.
Wait,
jokes.
is it DDoSer versus? I forgot the name of the guy. It was
Eugene?
yeah.
Am I
Is
on
it
camera? right
DDoSer v
Yeah.
Eugene?
It looks
Dawn of Tech
Me and you were
Justice.
kind of cut off, but
like. Okay.
actually, you're a little more cut off.
Also,
than
just
me.
scoot over closer, you freak.
Just sit on this. It's going to be so. The working synopsis right now is that DDoSer took matters into his own hands, like he's still being controlled by the guy. I think that's what I named him. He was just like guy.
Yeah, I think so. No, he was dude.
It was dude, yeah. He's still kind of in control, and he took over DDoSer to exact revenge on Eugene, and the tech lords and the tech judges didn't enjoy that, so he's being put on trial for tech crimes.
I love how you just shoved Jekyll and Hyde into it.
Every story.
Every story.
Now Jekyll and Hyde.
That, yeah.
And yeah, it's gonna be good. Pierre will play at least 7 characters in it.
I'm a great actor.
But
Acting's all about lying to people, and that's kind of my thing.
All right, Pierre.
But
Act right now.
Wow, Joe, you look great today.
Got him. That was good. If only Pierre said that.
He did.
Pierre didn't say that.
No, he was acting so well that you couldn't even tell.
I'm acting so well that your brain perceived me as acting, even though physically I wasn't moving.
You perceive me as physically being London.
Yeah, and then that one's gonna set up a lot of the like London heady cinematic universe, so it'll probably introduce a lot
Cinematic Universe is named after you.
yeah. Well, it's like the Snyderverse.
I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, people want. That's what's
That's
called.
what people call it.
No,
They're
people consider
strange.
specifically like the trilogy Snyder made. Well, not really trilogy, but and they want more of the
Man of
DC.
Steel?
Yeah. So they want the DC universe specifically by Zack Snyder, the Snyderverse.
So when we do this, because I'll probably be personal on screen, can you like CG out my beard like they do with Apple?
Well, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just have you wear green over your beard,
Okay.
and then we'll just have like really bad skin textures on there.
And by green, you mean you're just gonna get the green macaroni, like powder. You're just gonna put that in like a little bit of water, so it's like slightly like clammy and like kind of a clay, and you're gonna just kind of slap it.
What green?
The green macaroni powder. I don't know if they sell it anymore. They don't sell it anymore. Also, I would have seen it, but they used to have it. It was green.
Shrek Mac.
Yeah, it was like Shrek macaroni or something.
But we have to like.
Y'all had a different childhood.
We have to push forward more dark
love
webmaster
macaroni.
stuff. So Thomas, I'm thinking you get your own solo movie.
I don't know. I'll have to see the script first before I agree to anything.
Oh no, you have to write your own
Script?
script. Well, like I said, I'm writing a script for what I'm going all in. It's gonna be great.
The notes.
No, It's going to be a full script. It's going to be great. Your movie, so all of our movies are going to be like 10 minutes. Your movie's going to be 4 hours.
Oh, no.
And Zack Snyder's going to direct it. I got a great idea. It's called The Dark Webmaster, Mr. Snyder. It's going to be part of the London Heady Cinematic Universe.
It's going to be great. And a lot of it's going to be in slow motion. We're going to get a lot of it tick shots. With Dark
it's going to be like 10 minutes of footage, but it's slowed down, so it's like expands to 4 hours.
I wish I've seen the Snyder Cut so I could understand these jokes a lot.
It was a 2-hour movie that had like so much slowdown. I had an extra 2 hours.
Right, I could have skipped work, but I didn't because I had to make money.
Could have woke up really early.
Yeah, we could have. I told you we could do it right now.
What were we doing?
We're talking about One Piece.
Talking about One Piece.
So
Wait,
we covered the first 2 sagas. We got into Ichiro Oda, then we started talking about the London Heady Cinematic Universe.
Hold on.
Someone click out this video to hear about One Piece, and then we go on about the Snyder Cut.
I like how we recorded the fucking Snyder Cut episode and we couldn't stop talking about One Piece. Now it's the office.
Okay, so what you guys need to do...
Well, now we need to do a video on the DDoSer where we can't stop talking about the Snyder Cut. Well, because this we can't stop talking about the DDoS.
No, so what you do is the Snyder Cut episode of Screen Weens.
We label as Read.
No, you just cut out me and Pierre and just like stick us on the screen and label it Read Weens.
There we go. Yeah, but One Piece. We read chapters 1 through 217, which covered the East Blue Saga and the
Baroque work saga.
The Baroque work saga about these people that work at the Baroque work.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
So I guess a real brief summary of what happens. So basically the East Blue arc is Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy. He's a 17-year-old boy. He's setting off in a dinghy to become the king of the pirates.
How come he's so stretchy?
Because he ate a devil fruit when he was a young lad.
They never tell you that, though.
Yes, they do.
Literally page 5.
It's chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Like,
he eats the fruit because he's angry at Shanks, and then they're like, then he like Shanks.
I've eaten a fruit before and I didn't start stretching. That's just what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and then they gave a little expository explanation as to what.
He didn't eat the right kind of fruit.
Yeah,
he ate one type of fruit.
He ate a stretchy fruit that took away his ability to swim.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are things that are called devil fruits in this universe. They're somewhat rare. The legitimacy of that statement kind of becomes questionable after a certain point.
Every 5 chapters, a different person with devil fruit power.
It's
not that
it's
bad.
fine
It's not
because
that
they usually they introduce it as they're rare in East Blue, which is fine because they are.
I think
okay,
Buggy's the only devil fruit user he fights. There's Buggy and Smoker.
Yeah.
And Alvida, I guess, because she gets the smooth fruit, which does nothing but make her thinner.
Slim fruit.
I think it's the smooth fruit because she's able to like surf around on
yeah.
It like removes friction or something.
Yeah. But
Pierre, we're talking about One Piece, not eating chips.
Well, no, he's just in character as Monkey D. Luffy.
I'm listening to Thomas explain a wonderful story.
So basically, Monkey D. Luffy, he travels around the East Blue, which is like this really peaceful sea that's kind of a pond in the ocean of One Piece. And he gathers his crew and takes out some of the biggest names in the East Blue. And by the end of this saga, he takes out the big pirates like
Jeff Arlong.
No, he takes out like Buggy, corrupt marine named Axehand Morgan, Iron Club Alvida.
Yep.
He takes out
Jeffrey Arlong.
No,
is a run with the Navy and survives.
Fuck, what is his name? Captain Kuro.
Yep.
Don Krieg, who is him, Don Krieg and Arlong are like the 2 biggest pirates.
Yep.
He faces off against.
Like notorious in the East Blue.
Yeah. I guess Kuro was too, but he was more of a snake where he was like kind of.
Oh, yeah. People thought he was dead.
Yeah, a lot of people thought he was dead. But yeah, each of those arcs challenges like a different ideology of pirates compared to Luffy. Fucking like there's the theme of loyalty in Syrup Village, where he fights Kuro, who's like doesn't give a shit about his crew at all.
Who? No.
Catman.
Yeah, I remember.
Don Krieg believes that like might and armor is like the key to success of being a pirate.
Military might.
Yeah, striking fear into your enemy. And Arlon believes that his race is superior.
Just straight up supremacy.
Yeah. And that theme, particularly with the Fishman, gets developed much later on.
Yeah, like where I am.
Yeah,
I
right
didn't
where
realize.
I'm getting to.
It recontextualizes that arc a lot.
It does. It does. And you actually, light spoilers, it's not like massive spoilers, but you actually get a flashback where you see a young up-and-coming Arlong in that saga. So it's pretty nice in retrospect.
And he has a gun.
But throughout the adventures of the East Blue, Luffy has to build his pirate crew if he wants to be king of the pirates.
Yep. So he gets a navigator with Nami. He gets a swordsman with Zoro. He gets a cook with Sanji, and he gets a lion sniper with Usopp.
Pierre, what do you think?
He
In
gets
the East Blue?
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
He doesn't get the
Goemon.
Oh, and he meets his dad, Goemon.
Goemon from the
Goemon's
mystical
not his father.
ninja.
I'm not
And
gonna.
Gaimon, who is a treasure chest man.
I'm not gonna
They
say
don't join the crew.
who Luffy's father is, or
I know who Luffy's father is. It's Gaimon.
It's Goku.
but
What do you think of Usopp?
yeah.
But yeah, East Blue's
Not good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Long Park's the last thing, right?
Lockdown, which is it's like a 4-chapter arc.
It's
Yeah.
It gets expanded upon in the anime. Oda had plans for that arc, but he wanted to kind of like end it on that nice round 100. So he opted a lot of it out, which got adapted into the anime. But
That's supposed to be the end of the series.
originally, I guess the series was only supposed to span the length of about where Alabasta ended. But during the East Blue, so I think right around Baratier,
They came up to him, hey, do you want to do this for 25 fucking years?
They were just like, hey, we're giving you the green light. You can keep going as long as you want. And so he's like, all right. So he basically wrote Alabasta, and then he was like, before I get into the meat of the story here, I want to do one more fun little romp. So he wrote Skypiea, which we're not going to be talking about today. And then
I don't know about fun. You always refer to it as a fun little romp, but it's like a beefy section.
The reason why I kind of refer to it as its own little thing is because relatively compared to a lot of the other sagas, it's short. And it's kind of it's not it's connected to the rest of the series, but it feels very much like its own little isolated story. It feels like he just kind of wanted to have a fun little side adventure that he put a lot of world lore into. But we're not talking about that arc today. We are talking about Alabasta and East Blue. So Alabasta is after they enter the Grand Line, which is the real ocean of One Piece. It's separated.
It's the real world.
They got out of the tutorial. Now they're on level 1.
And it's separated by a mountain and a giant slab of ocean that has no current and a shit ton of sea monsters, known as the Calm Belt. There are different routes they can take, but they decide one when a group of whale hunters, a duo of whale hunters, asks them to take them home, and that whale is going to become relevant again in the future.
I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I got to that part too.
Yeah, you're already past that.
I know why it's relevant, but
Yeah. Luffy eats him.
He does.
I know
He
like
fucks
it's
the whale.
But
What?
I don't
Did you
think
say
I'm
that
right.
whale is his sister?
You can't say that, Joe.
So Alabasta, he basically gives them a ride to their island full of what turns out to be bounty hunters, and Zoro fucking fights them all.
Yep.
And then a couple higher ups.
Luffy fights Zoro.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, why'd you beat up all these nice people?
They gave us so
And
much
Zoro's
food.
like, no, that's not it. He's like, I'm gonna beat the shit.
Yeah,
It's like, I don't like you. They fed us, and now you're killing them. I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah, but Nami gets them to settle down, and then Luffy explains retroactively that he thought Zoro was doing it because they cooked a dish he didn't have, or he wanted a dish they didn't cook. He's like, oh, I thought they was just...
I thought you wanted a bloomin' onion.
Yeah, he's like, I thought you were just doing this because they didn't have food you wanted. And he's like, what? Why? That... Only you would do that.
Which is a constant theme of Luffy's character, though.
Yeah, Luffy loves food. That's like... It's hard to tell whether his priority number one is food, becoming Pirate King, or his crew.
Yeah, I feel that.
But, yeah, so basically, it turns out that one of the whale killers, or whale hunters that they were bringing back, turns out to be a secret princess of this kingdom that's being overtaken by the leader of this bounty hunter company known as Baroque Works. He's working in the shadows, so basically Nami gets seduced by money and convinces the rest of the Straw Hats to take her home.
We gotta take this princess home. There's a bag there. I gotta get it.
But then they quickly realize that they find out his identity, and they get caught knowing that they know. So it's like, they're like, oh, well, we're in it.
Yep, we're in the conspiracy now.
So they basically start their journey home. They stop on the island of Little Garden, where they meet a couple of giants from Elbath.
Broggy and Dory?
Yep.
I think are the names.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, they're having...
They just killed Nami where I am.
Got him.
They're having they battle multiple times every day. Basically, every time a volcano erupts, and they've been having this, war for over 100 years.
They're so gay.
Yeah, they're very
gay.
And it turns out that a couple Baroque Works agents follow them onto the island and kind of dishonorably tamper with the fight. And that really pisses off the Straw Hats, who then get back at them. Then they go to
Drum Island.
They're on their way to Alabasta, but Nami gets bit by a beetle on Little Garden, so she gets really sick.
About to die.
Yeah, 2 days away from death.
So they pull up to the snowy island because they're looking for some doctors, and it just so happens that they come upon this corrupt kingdom that has no doctors. Yeah, that's missing its king currently. He got... Blackbeard showed up, which we hear a little bit of Blackbeard here. Mm-hmm. We'll hear more about him in the following arc. But he shows up, and basically the king was just like, fuck this, and fled.
Yeah.
And then encountered Luffy and got wrecked.
Yeah, and then he just got lost trying to find his way back. And then, Luffy fucking wrecks him on his way there. And then they find their way back while they're on the island. Luffy has to climb to the top of this mountain to get Nami to a doctor who is named Dr. Correa. She's a notorious witch. And Sanji comes along, but he ends up getting injured, so he has to carry him up too. That's probably my favorite sequence from Drum Island. I really like that section of
that was really good, yeah.
I had heard that part hyped up for years now, and then when I was reading, I was like, this is actually 3 pages.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super
the climbing of the climbing of the plateau.
It's not super drawn out, but I think it's effective.
I think it was very effective. There was a whole sequence where Sanji just drops, Luffy's fingers are bloody.
I will say the sequence.
He's
I've seen the sequence animated multiple times before, in the anime, and I feel it's more impactful there.
Well,
just because you get to see the white out of snow and the dripping of blood from his hand.
Yeah, it's a little hard to tell black and white.
There's a couple things that the anime of Drum Island does better. They reorganize the Hero Look. Flashback is in the manga, it starts with him just breaking into some guy's house and trying to cure him against his wishes.
Yeah, I like that.
That's not the most.
I really like that.
Yeah, I like it too, but they changed that in the anime. That scene still happens. They just don't make it the initial scene. Where
I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought it was
I think it sets the tone.
It definitely does.
It reminds us of what I like to do in MMOs is see people having public duels. Oh no, they're losing health. They're having a duel though, and I'm a healer. Time to heal them and mess up the duel for everyone.
But yeah, so basically they show up on this island. The Corrupt King comes back. Meanwhile, Luffy and the crew are trying to convince this traumatized humanoid reindeer named Chopper.
A reindeer that ate the man fruit.
Yeah, the Hito no Mi, also known as the human fruit. And yeah, so he is human, and he doesn't fit in well with humans, and he doesn't fit in well with reindeer, but he fit in with this one doctor named Hiraluk, who basically told him he can be a great doctor because he's got a big heart.
Yeah.
But he had no medical knowledge and killed that doctor.
Fuck, dude. Like looking back now, it was funny, but man, reading through that, I'm just like,
Chopper had a rough start.
I really
had a
like
rough go of it. He was just like, there was this whole thing where they were like telling him about this mushroom and how it has like great healing properties. And Hero like flies a doctor's flag that looks like a pirate flag. It's like the skull and crossbow means that you can win at life, basically.
It's like skull and crossbow and good. Which means if it's on something, that thing has to be.
Yeah, so Chopper like goes out, finds the mushroom, and like gives it to him because he's dying. And Hero is just like, thanks, Chopper, I'm gonna be saved. And then later, Cray was just like, you did what? And Chopper's like, the skull and crossbones is good, right? And she's like, no! You killed him!
Yeah, and then...
And he's like, what?
And then he gives probably one of my favorite speeches from the entire series. The whole, when does a man truly die? Is it...
Yeah, that was great.
When he's forgotten, that whole spiel. Like,
Yeah.
I love that whole scene. Dalton, why are you crying? You little bitch. No. But... Yeah, basically, he commits suicide. He's spent his whole life working on this one thing, and he mastered it, like, right before he died. And he left that with Correa, and we don't get to see that until the end of the arc, when Chopper finally agrees after Luffy beats Wapol in a really drawn-out fight that I think went on a little longer than it needed to. I think that he could have one-hit Wapol, and it would have been just as satisfying, but instead they went on a little goose chase in the castle. That was unnecessary.
It was completely necessary.
I
He
disagree.
needs to just outright murder a lot of these people. He could do it in like two
Wait, hold on, I
panels.
just realized something. We never learned what the key was for on Drum Island, did we?
The armory.
Yeah.
What was in the armory?
A bunch of weapons.
Like cannons. That,
Oh, right, yeah.
Wapol was going to use them to become a living weapon by consuming all the
Right,
weapons
yeah,
in the fortress.
I
they
forgot about that.
but then
The munch frost.
Then Correa needs it at the end to give Chopper his proper send-off from Dr. Hiraluk, which is the pink snow, which also is more effective in the anime because...
I can imagine.
Yeah. But, I mean, it works in the manga.
If
It's...
you're reading on your phone, just take out a pink Sharpie and just...
On your phone. It's the same thing.
But, yeah, so they get a doctor on their crew now, and they head for Alabasta, where a bunch of shit happens.
So much stuff happens.
They
They
basically...
get into a holy war.
They meet...
Yeah.
Luffy's older brother Ace.
I love Ace. Ace is great.
Yeah, Ace is an ace. Like he's definitely a fun character
He
to
didn't
watch.
do much.
He doesn't do much in this arc. Yeah, I agree.
Pierre, did you see his boat though?
Well, yeah, after one day, he had like a little speedboat that he would just like stand up on, and, like, I'm going away, I'm Ace.
Well, no, like he uses his fire powers on the boat and just like, I'm fucking going.
Yeah. And then he basically shows up and he's like, "You want to join the Whitebeard Pirates? Your friends can come." And Luffy's like, "Fuck you," and he's like,
Hey, what are you gonna do about it, man?
Before they cross paths, Ace is like, "Here, Luffy, piece of paper. Hang on to this."
Yeah, and that piece of paper.
I know what that piece of paper.
Yeah, that piece of paper serves a much bigger function than I would have guessed at the time when I was initially going through the series.
Yeah. Ace is
Luffy finally looks at it at chapter 450 and it just says, "Got you!"
Like, what is it? He says that there's nothing written on it.
He basically gives it to him
yeah,
as
but
like,
it's
He said
like
opened it.
it's like a UV light.
Oh.
he basically like gives it to him and is like, "Yeah, you know, if we want to cross paths again one day. Keep this." And yeah.
It's an old gum wrapper.
So yeah, he has Nami sew that onto his hat. So for a while, you'll see Luffy with the little square thing in his hat.
On the outside.
Yeah, it's on like the ribbon.
I don't like. Why not just put it on the inside? It would be more safe there.
Think about how sweaty Luffy's head is.
That's true.
Yeah, and bloody.
Yeah. He gets bloody a lot.
He does.
Luffy gets wrecked a lot.
Yeah, he does.
So basically,
Everyone in the Straw Hat crew gets wrecked a lot.
yeah, they do.
Not Usopp.
What are you talking about?
The best thing about Alabasta was seeing Usopp like absolutely destroyed by the end of his fight.
Yeah, no.
But that fight with Usopp was fucking awesome.
It
was great.
It's really nice because in that scene, we're jumping forward a bit here, but he basically, sets his fears aside and declares his faith in his captain. And I really like that. That's a common scene that you'll come across a few times. Like, different Straw Hats will kind of come to terms with that arc in their own little unique ways throughout the series. And they're always really fun to see. I always really enjoy those kinds of scenes in the series. But yeah, so basically they go after Ace leaves. They journey further into the country of Alabasta. They go to the town of Yuba, where the rebels are supposed to be. But they fled because there's no more water there. It's supposed to be...
There's just an old guy. He's like, I'm digging a hole. I'm digging a hole.
Fucking digging.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get the water.
we find out that guy is the father of...
The leader of the rebels, Koza.
Yeah, Koza.
Koza, yeah.
And yeah, basically he's like, because like Koza and Vivi, we get their little flashback where they're young, and basically she is
Childhood
royalty
friends.
of the people. She really cares about her country and the people to the point where she was just like literally running around and playing with like local civilians, which isn't typical for royalty.
Yeah.
Especially in this universe.
Reminds me of someone else.
Uh,
You know who I'm talking about.
Off the top of my head, no.
Trash Can Man. From the Trashville. Trash Mountain.
Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Classic. I like being able to just do this now. I mean,
Yeah. Not quite royalty. Within the royalty category, I guess. More of a noble. But,
Trash man.
the trash man.
I'll get up in the ring and start throwing trash everywhere.
Yeah, Danny DeVito
Danny
plays.
DeVito. Danny DeVito does have a character who is modeled after him, though.
The guy mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Monkey D. Luffy.
Zorro.
I can't remember the character. Dr. Hogback.
Is that supposed to be Danny DeVito?
Yeah, it's based off the Penguin.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Thriller Bark's good.
Thriller Bark's good. I like it. The anime stretches it out, definitely, but it's a good arc.
Just don't watch the anime.
Yeah.
Outside of like fight scenes, maybe.
I only
Like
watch
the voice cast, and there's some effective, like, they have effective scenes, but yeah, a lot of it's stretched out.
Just only watch the movie with the Nickelback song in it.
It's a good movie.
It was a One Piece movie with a Nickelback song?
It's specifically a cover by Avril Lavigne of "How You Remind Me." Is the credit song.
And then she also
Film Z,
covers,
right?
Yeah, Film Z. She also covers Bad Reputation in the same after credits. Anyway, yeah, she's a One Piece fan. So was Jamie Lee Curtis. Anyway,
Jamie Lee Curtis loves One Piece.
Yeah.
I knew that. She's gonna play Luffy in the live action show.
Cole Sprouse also is a One Piece fan.
Yeah,
He's
he
been
wants
like
to play
online
Sanji.
petitioning to play Sanji in the Netflix live action, which I don't
I'm
think.
gonna do it. I can play Brooke.
Huh?
I can play.
You
Brooke. Brooke's 8 feet like 9.
He's tall.
Oh boy.
He's also old. He's older than
Yeah, he's-
a majority of the characters in the series.
Oh yeah, he's
They're at least have to be older than 50 years old.
he's 88 if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, because like everyone in the Straw Hats is I think like
20-something.
18, is around there.
Yeah, early.
How old's Robin?
28.
I'm gonna go with post time skip ages. They're all in their like early 20s.
Except for
Robin's
Robin
in
would be
her
30
30s, along with Frankie.
Frankie's 36 before the time skip.
Yeah. So like her and Frankie are around the same age. I'd say the same for the new crew member who you haven't.
I haven't seen a crew member.
I'll say that you've seen
Shark
them,
Boy?
but you
Zero.
haven't gotten to the point where they join the crew.
It's Gareth
Is it who-
Targaryen from
Is it who I think it is?
Maybe. I don't know who you think it is, so I can't confirm. So I'll just say yes.
It's Buggy.
I wish it was.
Buggy would be great.
So I'm really excited for Oda to finish One Piece, and the next day he's like, okay guys, it's time to start the second Two Piece. It's about Buggy.
Oda's on record, like, he's like, because when Boruto was like doing well, I guess, he was like, yeah, I could see One Piece doing something like that one day. Which it has the ability to, because not within the main story, but within the cover stories, we find out that space
vampires
and space pirates are a thing.
Oh.
So it's
Luffy
like,
would not have a kid.
Kid named Buffy.
Well, I mean, like,
he might have a kid, but it wouldn't be till he's done with the adventure. But Oda has claimed that he is asexual, which, I mean...
you can still be in love with someone. Like,
yeah, exactly.
doesn't-
It doesn't necessarily mean that he can't.
Luffy's only one love in the world is food.
it's also his crew.
Yeah.
Which he sees as another source of food if the time...
Yeah, like, fucking, when they introduced Chopper, fucking Sanji and Luffy just chasing him around.
Yeah,
like,
but then they realize he's strong.
That goes on, like, for a while.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
running after.
That's how I first saw Joe when I met him.
That's true.
Like,
9 years old or something.
but anyway, yeah, so
They go to Yuba.
they go to Yuba, it's dried up, Luffy gets some water from the guy, and then they go to, I forget the name of the place, but the place that has all the casinos where they get
Water down. Rains?
Rain down?
Yeah.
Rain down. Rains?
I can't remember.
Something like that.
I know what you're talking about. It was like nice.
But yeah,
Something
they
like-
encounter...
Wait, what? Why are you not gonna say it?
Because it's funny hearing you guys be confused. I read all this like 30 minutes ago now.
Well, they encounter Smoker, and they get...
Rain dinners.
Rain dinner. I was close.
They encounter...
It's a dinner rain.
They encounter Smoker, and then they get captured by Crocodile.
It's so funny seeing Smoker after after going through Hunter x Hunter. I'm like, oh look, it's moral.
Oh, yeah.
I really like Smoker.
Yeah, Smoker's...
Smoker gets crazy. He just murdered everyone on the crew.
Sounds alright.
He's now the main character. He's wearing Luffy's skin as a mask.
Yeah, but anyway.
Luffy's hollowed out skin just filled with smoke coming out of it.
That's how he makes it stretch, because he can't, actually use his arms, so he has to send smoke through the
The
skin.
steam from the smoke is just making the skin just expand.
Everyone just thinks he's been doing Gear Second the whole time. Which Joe doesn't know about.
I know about that.
Okay, I
Joe
figured
does
you
not
might
know
have
what
known
it is.
about it.
I know about
Joe doesn't know what One Piece is.
No one knows what the One Piece is.
I know what the One Piece is.
Is it my
It's
comic?
the friendship we made along the way.
I know it's something funny.
It's gonna be a joke book. Gold Roger's epic One Piece of comedy.
It's a...
The greatest treasure in the world is the smiles made on people's face through comedy.
Anyway, so yeah, basically they escape from the casino. Kasanji shows up, and Mr. 3 makes a key because he was there. He's a wax man.
A bunch of stuff happens.
They fought in Little Garden.
Luffy gets wrecked by Crocodile.
There's a big alligator.
Like, Luffy gets wrecked.
Destroyed.
I really like the structure of Luffy's confrontations with Crocodile, because we get the first encounter where he just gets completely flattened. Then we get the second encounter where he figures out water is his weakness and kind of gets a leg up, but Crocodile still wins.
wrecked.
And
And
we
then he
get the,
keeps showing up, and Crocodile's like, what the fuck?
It's like, bro, how are you not dead?
He's like, what?
he's like, now I'm going to use my
Twice
blood.
and you're
He's
still coming back. What's wrong?
Yeah, Luffy is edgy. I like some of these arcs because Luffy just starts getting crazy. I can just use my goddamn blood.
and
Dude, that
Crocodile's
was fucking crazy.
yeah.
And Crocodile's just like,
I really like Luffy because he's so jovial, and then he'll just fucking snap. There's that. It's not until Water 7, but I shared that one panel that's just prepare to have every bone in your body broken.
Yeah.
I'm just Jesus Christ.
yeah, no, there's a fucking switch in Luffy. He's kind of psychopathic.
Yeah,
to like a really small degree.
he'll kick ass. He doesn't kill anyone. He's never killed anyone he's gone up against.
Except for Usopp.
Not yet. A lot of people are suspecting the current villain might be the first one, but I honestly don't think
Is it Hitler?
so. You know who it is. You've read the 1,000 chapters.
I don't remember it.
You know,
I don't remember any. I think somebody uses like a big fireball.
there you go.
It might have been Luke. I have no idea. I don't remember who he's fighting. I remember there's some statues, I think. I don't know. What I should do is I should reread chapter 1,000 every time I finish every 100 chapters. And be like, well, still have no idea what the fuck's going on.
You would quickly figure it.
But so at the casino, they figure out that basically everyone is going to the city capital. The rebels are going there because they've been fed lies through Crocodile, who's been puppeteering the entire situation, and then Baroque Works is going after them because they need to take down the capital and the royalty, so that way they can be in power. And then the Straw Hats are like, well, shit, we gotta go there too. So it's fucking Battle City at the capital.
Yep. And yeah, each of the Straw Hats get their own little fight. Zoro goes up against a guy who has a sword devil fruit but doesn't practice swordsmanship. Fucking
Usopp and Chopper go against Mole Lady and Hammer Bro.
yeah, Mr. Four and I don't remember. Miss Merry Christmas.
I think so.
Then Miss Double Finger goes up against Nami.
Yep.
She's Mr. One's counterpart. And then Sanji fights Bon Clay.
Yep. Which I like that fight a lot. That was fun. I like it when there's like, oh, these people are just like the same but different.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really good. But also, okay, I talked to London about this last night, and I still can't get it out. There was a gun that ate a man, or ate a mutt fruit. There was a gun that was a dog.
There's not much even in current that's known about the method of instilling an object with a devil fruit ability. There's something that can be done. Vegapunk is usually behind it. He's like this mysterious scientist that we've learned little nuggets of information about over the series.
Mm-hmm.
He's likely the one behind the devil fruit in the object thing. But yeah, we honestly don't know much about
We
that
just
current.
skipped 4
Vegapunk.
chapters.
No, I was talking.
I know who that is.
I was talking about.
You've heard him mentioned
the
for sure.
gun dog. And how I was
Classic.
like, oh, London, hey, look, this dog is a gun. And London's like, that's not the way it works. It's a gun that's a dog. And I read that and I was just like, wait, what?
Yeah, later on we find a sword that's an elephant.
Yeah.
There's some
What the fuck is
crazy
this?
stuff.
God, okay.
Oda has given each of the straw, like they're in an SBS pretty recently. He was asked what devil fruits non-devil fruit users on the crew would have, and he said that Zoro would have the current bad guy's devil fruit, but it would be in his swords instead. Which okay.
Tornado.
No, I'm not gonna tell you what the
Cum bucket.
The sword.
The cum
fruit. So it's a sword on a sword on a sword.
That would be about
The sword
same.
that ate the gun.
That would feel like a human who ate the human fruit.
Yeah.
Which does happen, but that's a slightly different case.
More human.
It's a sub-human.
I like that
It's
Oda
a mythical
specifically
human fruit.
mentioned that in one of the SBSs. He was just like, yeah, just you become more man. It's like when you grow up.
I imagine, you probably could,
Become really old.
get different transformations like Chopper does. At least the core. Obviously, his points are something he medically brings out through his rumble balls, but, he still has, those 3 base forms that I'm sure humans could probably maybe use.
What if he just turned into another human, like some guy named Scott or something?
Lang.
Yeah, Scott Lang.
You become Ant-Man.
So big battle at the city. It's crazy. Everyone has their individual fights. The princess is trying to stop the war with as little bloodshed as possible. Everyone's like, you can't do that. That's naive, which is correct.
But Luffy's like, as long as she keeps fighting, I'll keep fighting.
If you try hard enough, you can do anything. So it's like, if she tries hard enough,
Yeah,
you
you're
can
like
win a
Luffy.
war without bloodshed.
Yeah, you're like Usopp.
You remind me of Usopp here.
I think I'm cooler than Usopp.
You're like Usopp after the time skip.
Anyway, but yeah, they win the war. Crocodile gets cracked. And then,
He's turned into Crocs that Luffy wears for the rest of the series.
yeah, then the world government takes the credit, doesn't give it to Luffy.
Because they can't. Because at this point, Luffy is like a pretty big deal.
He's getting there. He's still pretty low priority in the scheme of things, but...
Well, no, because at the end of Alabasta, his bounty raises to 100 million.
That's
nothing.
Oh. Okay.
In comparison to...
Okay.
Right now, Luffy has a bounty of 7 trillion. No, it's not true.
Well, if 100 million is not a lot, I mean, I guess, because it's like 200 chapters in, and like there's obviously bigger fish out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy because you see people like the last arc I read, you see like some fights between people that are like hundreds of times stronger than Luffy.
Oh yeah, Luffy's not even close to being like one of the world's strongest.
Not yet. Not until chapter 2000.
Well, maybe he's getting there. It's hard to say.
Saying that, but like Crocodile's supposed to be one of the 7 warlords
That's
of the
not-
sea. That's made me think that those 7 warlords are just a bunch of chumps.
Well, it's
they-
a specific sea, pretty much.
They can.
Oh, okay.
Well, is that 7 warlords of the sea like the Grand Line, which is like
I guess the Grand Line
No,
is basically
the,
like
the 7 warlords of
right?
the sea are basically just 7 pirates that the warlords have.
okay? So
alliances with throughout
I
the
was
sea.
under the assumption that the 7 warlords of the sea were the toughest people.
They're not necessarily the
Grand
toughest.
Line.
But they're the toughest that the government wants to be like, yeah, that's okay.
I'll say each one of them benefits the government.
Well, yeah, I assumed that they were just like they were the toughest people, and they were so tough. The government's like, you know what? We'll leave you alone and let you do your thing as long as you don't mess.
Some of them
mess with all the other people.
There are some of the 7 warlords that are undisputably like ridiculously stronger, especially when compared to some of the other ones.
Okay.
Like Arlong?
Arlon's not a...
I meant
he used to be one.
Yeah.
No, that's not what they say. They're talking about Arlon used to be part of...
Oh yeah, I know who's. I'm dumb.
used to be part of one of the warlord's crews. The
Which
warlord
I-
they're talking about there, they name drop him, is Jinbei.
Who I've seen.
Yes, who you have met.
That's what I.
But
But even like compared to like Crocodile, some of the other warlords.
Crocodile has...
That's exciting.
Crocodile has the pre-time skip advantage of being a Logia Devil Fruit user, which they're really hard to deal with unless you know a specific technique.
What's a Logia? Oh, is that what
Logia is like Ace is a Logia, he's a Logia. It's basically like your body is an element.
Yeah,
okay.
sort. It's like really hard to hit them. Like he can turn into sand.
Yeah, okay, because
Ace can turn into
at this
fire.
point they've only name dropped the zone type, which is just like the anamorphers.
Yeah, there's
the broad-
Logia and there's
Paramecia.
Paramecia.
Paramecia is like your body gets some sort of a transformation, but it's not like Logia. Your body doesn't solely become
So
that.
it's like Luffy then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rubber Man.
Same with like Albedo. She is like smooth. Buggy's also a Paramecia, like because his body can like split apart.
He doesn't become like
Is Robin a Paramecia then?
Yes.
Okay.
And then like Crocodile, Smoker, Ace, they're all Logia types where they're really hard to fight because you can't really hit them unless you know this one technique.
Gotcha.
And then there's Zone, which are
Chopper's a zone. And you'll see a lot of zones.
Dalton's a Zone.
Yeah, Dalton's
And
zone,
then you'll see-
Hell's zone.
And then you see a lot of zones in like 2 or more big arcs.
Gotcha.
The big arc after Saga.
Gotcha. But like that's crazy to hear that like, oh, Crocodile is like low hanging fruit because
Like he's not. I wouldn't say he's the weakest of the warlords from what I've seen.
He's
but
not, but he probably falls somewhere in like the middle.
Okay.
He just got really unlucky.
and he also has like a huge ego.
That's
Yeah.
true. But like even still, like watching that, I'm like, this guy's fucking crazy.
Throughout the whole arc, you were like, okay, so this is what like the end game looks like. This is one of the strongest.
Just wait, well, like,
That's what like Hawkeye was. That was kind of what Hawkeye was meant to represent to the story.
Well, that's the thing, is like Hawkeye was also one of the 7 warlords. I just assume that these people were all like the pinnacle of what they can do.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So let me give a fun little piece of trivia about why this series is so long. So originally, One Piece was only supposed to be, like I said, the length of like up to Alabasta, because it was going to be Luffy versus like the Marines and the 4 Emperors of the Sea, which you don't get introduced to the concept of until after the 4th saga.
Even though there are characters.
Yeah, you straight up meet one of them before you even know what they are. And you hear like,
Usopp.
Spoiler alert, Whitebeard is one of the 4 Emperors of the Sea.
Yeah.
And they're the really big, powerful, superpower pirates that you might have thought the 7 warlords are. Like,
Okay.
Hawkeye, a bit of a spoiler, has acknowledged that he's not as strong as Whitebeard was.
Yeah.
So that if that gives you a little bit more of a frame of reference. But Oda was like, I want to insert like this one thing. And he picked 7 because it was a nice number that he thought sounded cool. And that prolonged the series' lifespan because he's written multiple sagas based around dealing with some of these warlords. And Luffy doesn't fight all of them. I will say that.
Yeah.
So it's not like a checklist where you're like, all right, he has to have 7 sagas where he fights every single warlord. So, yeah. But...
And then some of the warlords get replaced, too.
Yeah, like Crocodile gets replaced, because he...
And then...
It's not
Oh, I'm interested to see what they do with that now.
Yeah, I don't know if you know...
One Piece is amazing!
Yeah, no, that's kind of the conclusion I came to like yesterday. I'm like, there's just a lot of good things happening. Like
Pierre hated One Piece.
I don't hate it.
You just hate Usopp.
I hate Usopp, and it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like I'm usually like a big completionist, but it's weird seeing someone else do every side quest that comes their way. Because I get to Little Garden, we're staying on the boat in Little Garden, we're not doing anything, we're waiting it out, and then we're leaving as soon as possible. We get to Drum Island. Well, wait, if we stay on the boat, Nami doesn't get sick.
But
so
they needed to get food.
They
needed to get food at Drum Island. That's why they
also fish off the boat.
Also, like, they had a year to wait for the log post to track the next island.
Guess we're...
You would have just sat there for a year.
Yeah. You know what? I might have.
I know, there's a lot of, like...
You just said you like doing every side quest.
That's not doing every side quest, you just stay on the boat.
It's doing every side quest you can see if you don't look at any of them.
I close my eyes, I can't see the side quests.
I'm just saying there's just like a lot of like little story arcs that I don't care much for, and were kind of like a slog to get through. All the big stuff I enjoyed.
Like, the only arc that I found that was like kind of sloggy was partially like because of outside factors. I just wasn't reading as much was Little Garden. But even still, I thought Little Garden was pretty fun.
I like in the 600 chapters I've read, there has been one arc that I disliked, and it was only like probably like 12 chapters.
I know exactly which arc you're talking about.
I think I talked. It's the Davey back one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foxy arc.
Yeah. Because I just don't like that crew, and I don't like the execution. It came after, like, that was right after Skypiea, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, Skypiea was such a high for me reading it.
I told you gotta go into G8.
And it's just like, but like, yeah, I've enjoyed, and I still think that, like, Alabasta might be like the second best arc that I've read so far.
Yeah, Alabasta, like me having the full scope of everything that's been done now, it's really hard for me to place because it's really well done and it really set the marker for Oda on a lot of stuff and it's like classic, so it's like I want to keep it up there, but I feel like in a lot of ways he's like really refined how he like methods that he used.
Well, like even like going from the East Blue Saga to Alabasta, like when I read Arlong Park, I was just like, holy shit.
I think Arlong Park is incredible.
I was like, this is crazy. And then Alabasta just like it felt like it took that concept a little bit and exploded in scale.
That's why I wanted to cover up to this saga instead of just doing the East Blue saga, because I feel like Alabasta is like where One Piece really becomes One Piece.
I can feel that. There's just a lot of things, like, I mean, after East Blue, we get introduced to the Grand Line, which is kind of how this story works. Like, there's a lot of small things I like. Like, I think the log post system is, like, really cool and really entertaining. It's just like, nope, we gotta go in this direction. What we find is what we find, and we'll deal with it. I know, I like that every single island they go to, they're, like, solving some big moral problem, and, like, Luffy's just like, hey, don't be an idiot and a dumbass. Treat people nicely.
Yeah, he's just got like lots of compassion.
Yeah,
It's like
and I also love the wildlife of One Piece. Every single, like, creature and animal, I'm like, that thing's fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
I think my favorite, though, is probably the sand crab.
Oh yeah.
I love that guy. He's just like,
Yeah.
I'm just fucking skittering around. I don't know, like,
I'm partial to either Panda Man or Hiking Bear.
I have not seen either of those yet.
Panda Man is in every chapter of One Piece. He is a little Easter egg character that he will draw in the background.
Oh, okay, no, he did an SBS on that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And Hiking Bear, they meet when they first get to Drum Island. They're like passing it, and Dalton's like, bow to the Hiking Bear. And they're like, oh, yep. And then they come across someone in town who's like big, and they're like, oh, it's the Hiking Bear, and they bow. Because they're fucking dumb. It's Luffy and like Usopp.
Luffy's such a...
Yeah, God, like Luffy.
Yeah, that's another thing I like about One Piece. Every person except, like, Robin and Nami are just fucking morons.
Like
Yeah.
they definitely
They have their
like, levels.
specializations, but outside of that, they're just like, they can't be human beings.
I'd say Sanji is intelligent unless there's a woman.
That's true.
That's like filtering. Yeah.
Booba.
Boba Boba.
There's this bit. It's like probably one of the most hated bits from One Piece in Fishman Island, but the vocal delivery in the anime for the scene is so fucking funny. It's the mermaid scene. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
Okay, I'll be there soon.
Yeah.
So I'm about to go to Fishman Island.
Yeah, I'll send you the clip on YouTube and you can watch it once you confidently get past it.
Yeah, no, like, I agree, like, all the crew is, like, just fucking dumb, but also, like, I really love the crew. Like, I understand, like, that's one of, like, the biggest parts, like, the crew is, like, the reason why you care. Like, holy shit, at the end of Alabasta, when Vivi was on the island, and everyone's just, like, fucking fists up, crosses on the
I
back.
passed by an SUV that had a sticker on the back of their car that was the...
Dude,
And I was like, what? I was like...
You should have been like, hey! Be my friend!
I thought about, like, honking my horn and waving at my
Going,
window.
yeah!
yeah, no, like, fucking chills reading that, just like, oh, God! Oh!
Yeah, and it makes me... This isn't confirmed or anything, but I have a strong feeling that by the end of the series, they will have Vivi on the crew again.
Yo.
Which would be nice. It's not...
That was a... There was, like, a pretty good, like, will she, won't.
Well, she's like, when we meet again, will you still consider me like a member of your
that
crew?
was my
And then
favorite
it's
part
just...
of Alabasta.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like the whole, like, well, we can't. Part of what got me was, like, we can't respond, otherwise, like, they'll know that she was in cahoots and we can't ruin her life for her. I'm just like, God, dude. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And there's a lot of smaller elements. I really like Mr. 2.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah, Mr.
Bon Clay.
Monclay.
Bon Clay is great.
Monclay showed back up more recently and had some great
Where
fucking
you're at.
parts.
Not where I'm at.
Yeah.
Well, I know what you're thinking. It's not what you think.
We'll see. But those scenes with them are fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, Bon Clay.
I never I don't know what I was doing with my life. I was like, One Piece looks fucking garbage. And then I'm like, whoa, One Piece is
I think for me-
I knew it, because I was like reading, I've been a fan of One Piece for years. I'm like, this show is goofy, stupid, but like dramatic, funny. It's got like an anti-authority, like, themes going on, and it's just
I
like...
think it's just like, I really liked Bleach, like from the get-go when I watched it. And then out of the big three, I'm like,
I gave Naruto like an actual shot, and I hated it. So I was like, Bleach is probably just the only good shonen, like, at that point. So I'm like, I'm not gonna... And I'd seen, like, 2 episodes of One Piece on 4Kids, and I'm like, that was bad.
Yeah.
So I just never gave it a shot. And then also, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the people that I've met in my life that, like, really like One Piece are really annoying.
I feel that.
And then I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah,
You're one of them.
They were right.
We're like fucking carriers. We spread the disease and try. We'll be relentless.
And it's just, I think that's just it. I just don't like the fan base for a lot of things.
I try to be,
including Star Wars.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I was a lot more aggressive. Like, you gotta try One Piece, give it a try. But now I'm like, whatever, dude, you're fucking lost.
That's why it's good that me and you have like podcasts, because then we can make each other watch things without being annoying about it.
Exactly.
Because it's just like, sorry, it's our job.
I was like, he'll probably enjoy this. So
like for me, like it was just pure size of One Piece. Like it's gargantuan.
Yeah, but like it goes by so fast.
Yeah, no, like I tore through East Blue.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people. I don't know if they think this, but I feel like a lot of people hear 1,000 episodes and they think it's going to be like episodic or something, and not realize.
Well, I knew it wouldn't be episodic, but it was just like
a lot.
I still like, as much as I want to. I don't know if I'll ever watch the anime. Like, at least all of it. I'll probably watch parts of it, but I'm just like, that is too long for me. Like 1,000 episodes. I'm like, I don't really want to do that.
No, there are arcs that are done better than others. I think it works decent if you're like in the background, or if you really want to get someone on it who refuses to read, you can maybe show them the early anime. But it won't. It probably, they tend to drop out around Syrup Village for a variety of reasons.
It's just like,
that's
my favorite animes are like 13 to 26 episodes, so I'm just like, I can watch like 50.
90 anime.
Yeah, 50 to 90 other anime in that time. I could watch all of every iteration of Mobile Suit Gundam like twice.
3 times.
Or 3 times, yeah.
Good. But I think that like
One Piece was a great thing. I'm like addicted. I've read.
Yeah.
I went a little slower between chapters 1 to 100 and 100 to 217, and then after I got to 217, I just did 200 chapters in a week, and then 200 more in a week. I'm just like, oh, like I have no doubt that I will be caught up in like at most a month, but probably more like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And like because after I finish Alabasta, I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep reading I just want to read past the next few chapters, and I'm just like, fucking Skypiea starts off just solid hook. I don't think it's a spoiler to say how it starts it off, but like
a ship falls.
A ship falls from the sky into the ocean, and immediately I go, wait, what the fuck?
And Skypiea is so funny.
And then they like go diving, and then they find a ship, and I'm like, oh, answers, and then monkeys show up. And I'm like, okay, you have my full attention on
it's
this.
just like One Piece, it just keeps getting better too. Like I really thought Alabasta was going to be like the peak, and I was fine with that. I was like, I'll enjoy the rest, but it was like One Piece from the beginning, for me at least, all of it was good, and then like Arlong Park and Alabasta were like great or fantastic. Yeah. But since then, pretty much everything except the Davy Back thing, which I did not like at all, everything else has been like great to me.
Yeah.
When for the future.
When I got into One Piece, I was recommended by somebody, and they were like, "Yeah, the first 100 episodes are great, but after that, it sucks." I was like, "Oh, well, that's kind of shitty. I guess I'll just check it out, and I'll just stop watching when it gets bad." And once I got to the Arlong arc and finished that, I basically was like, "All right, I'm seeing this boy become Pirate King."
Yeah, no, like the Arlong Park are
just going to be kind of hard since Nami murdered him.
That's true. It does such a good job of like introducing like how the characters are going to be like revealed over time, because Nami's like, I'm only guessing is probably like her initial backstory. 1,000 chapters. I guarantee we're going to be learning more about.
She leaves the crew at 2 more chapters in.
I will say
I don't feel like that's going to be the case.
Well, like
that happens with some Straw Hats.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't happen with at least all of them so far. I think by the end of the series, they will have all gotten like their kind of like secondary arcs.
Okay.
But
I mean, like, even still, like, I guarantee we're going to be learning more about her, but even still, like, it's such
Yeah,
a
like
strong way
there's
to...
good character.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like we got their backstories, and then there's the 2-year time skip later on, and then we're going to get what they were doing in the 2 years as like another new backstory to catch up on, and then that's it.
I mean, you see what they're doing during the 2 years before the 2 years happens. And it gives you an idea
It
of
goes
what they're going to
forward
get into.
and then back.
No, so what's going on? It's hard to get specific about it without getting into it.
I'm trying
I'll
to
get there.
you guys to spoil one piece.
Anyway,
I'll get there
so I want to know, because I can't really do this because I've read so much more, but I want to know your guys' like rankings for the Straw Hats that you've seen. Obviously, Robin's been in the crew for like
A
one
chapter.
panel,
Yeah.
so
so we'll just not count Robin.
it's funny because I think Robin might be my second favorite Straw Hat.
Yeah, she's like my second or third. She's up there. I will say I wish that they kept her momentum going,
I get it.
but like that initial characterization we get for her is enough to keep her up there for me.
It's just funny because she joins and then they don't do stuff with her for a bit.
Yeah.
She's just kind of there, and this.
And then it just makes her arc better, though, without explaining why.
So, I'll preface this with saying I like all the Straw Hats a lot.
Pierre does not.
I know Pierre doesn't. But at the top is probably Luffy, as basic as that is, and then Zoro, probably Chopper, then Usopp, then Sanji, then Nami.
What about you, Pierre?
Well, I'm going to go, and it's easier if I go from bottom to top.
Okay. Bottom.
Is obviously Usopp, because he's the
He's
absolute
awesome.
worst.
He is so good.
I think Usopp at this point of the story is a really solid gag character. I can see there being...
He's so fucking cool.
He's a lot of fun. He's
Like,
a
in
good
each
gag
arc,
character.
he has, like, his big moment,
Yeah.
but then it's like that, in my mind, doing one, it's like, if you do one cool
That's what
thing,
Luffy does, too. One cool thing.
does that excuse, like, if you're cool 1% of the time, does that excuse 99% of the time being, like,
I don't know.
the worst?
Yes.
Like, I don't think so, but also, like, I don't know, there's... Fuck.
You can't do that.
thought I had it on.
I don't know, there's a lot of, like, confidence problems that I personally have that I see a lot in Usopp that I'm like, okay, I know Usopp can do things.
Like, I get...
Hold on. Undeniable proof that the number 4 and number 6 Xbox spreads are DDoSing servers after you knock them.
r/Apex Legends.
It is. I don't know why.
I read that on Reddit earlier.
I heard
Never
to not
gone on that Reddit
don't
before.
crossplay when playing Apex at the moment.
Huh?
I heard to not put on crossplay when you're playing Apex at the
Oh,
moment.
lovely. I was just bringing it up because of the DDoSing.
Yeah, they would.
But, like, Usopp does the bottom for you, right?
Yeah, Usopp just at the bottom, like, they're not, like, absolute garbage. Like, I see what they're doing with their character, it's just, like, I don't vibe with it, which is ironic, because I usually like the character who talks a big game.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is you should like
The thing is,
Usopp.
he breaks down. Like, I don't like it when the mask comes off. And it comes off all the time for him.
We'll just wait until
Like,
he puts the mask
is
back on.
constantly shattering. Like, the mask is just a bunch of little fragments that he's just piecing together on his face and they're barely holding up.
I promise you that exact situation you're describing will become thematically relevant soon.
It happens.
Oh, okay.
In the game.
Oh, okay.
It happens so much. I'm like, Usopp, just stop at this point. Like, either... Like, that's why I actually like Usopp more when he's just being honest and he's just like, yeah, I'm scared. I don't want to do that. I'm staying on the boat.
You're real close to
It's
that.
like, I'd rather
Go ahead, dude.
have that Usopp than the Usopp talking big game about being a warrior of the sea. I'm like, shut up, Usopp. I don't believe you.
Okay, after Usopp.
Okay.
After Usopp is, I hate to say this because, like, they're fine, but, like, Tony Chopper, but like, because they haven't had much at this
That's
point.
fair.
There's not a lot to go on, but, like, Tony's fine. I don't like their little
You
mascot.
should have a
look.
skateboard. And he's
So-
mostly in the mascot.
True.
I wish Tony was actually their default was the reindeer because I think it'd be hilarious if they just had a reindeer with them that was talking.
There is this old abridged that used to just not have Chopper talk.
Yeah. So I was thinking, it's like, what if Chopper just doesn't talk?
What if
He's
it was just a
reindeer,
regular?
and then they'll randomly turn into just a huge animal man and punch a guy, say one line, and then go back to being a reindeer.
You just got choppered.
Yeah. After that it's a hard toss-up between Sanji and Zoro. Cause, like, I kind of like Sanji's style, but then, like, Sanji kind of feels kind of one note a lot of the times. But so does Zoro. But Zoro, I really like his design. He looks cool. His 3 swords and was one of his
Like, I think
that's cool.
No, for me, like, Zoro was just number 2 on my list. It's just cool factor.
Yeah, I think I might want to just put Zoro slightly above Sanji. So Sanji's above Chopper, but below Zoro only because Zoro's the cooler of those two aesthetically. Even though I think Zoro personality-wise is less than Sanji. Because he's just, I'm cool sword man. I'm voiced by Guts. Remember when I fought 100 people just like Guts? I did that.
Then Nami or then Luffy?
Nami Luffy is also like a big toss-up because I like
'Cause they
Nami
both have
because like
rubber
she's the
powers.
voice of reason. And like she also fulfills, like Usopp kind of does this some of the time, but I feel like Nami does a better job of it, of being like the voice of reason and just like the normal person there, like, what the hell is wrong with you people? You don't need to do this, or why are you doing this? She's also like the smartest one around and probably the only thing keeping the ship afloat 90% of the time.
Usopp's the
And
ship.
Usopp.
He fixes the ship.
Like, you can fix the ship, but that's like treating the symptoms. She's like treating the disease by making sure the ship doesn't get damaged in the waves and navigates properly and gets to its destination. So it's like, Usopp can fix the ship all day, but if it's just going around in circles going nowhere, then it's pointless. But then I started off thinking Luffy was very one note and was like, you're run-of-the-mill shonen protagonist. But over the course of reading, I was just like, Luffy's pretty good, and I really do like that. Depending on the situation, he can like flip a switch and just go crazy.
I remember.
Like, he'd be really malicious just out of nowhere.
I like
Thomas. I haven't seen him snap, but I know he can.
I'm short. I do have a temper.
Do all short people have tempers? Is that something
I mean, I won't say it with absolute certainty because I don't know every single short person, but I will say
I thought
most
you
of
guys
the
had like an expo that you met.
we do, but I'm
Yeah,
I'm kind of aloof. I don't really go there.
And I remember picking you up and me and you were talking like after work and you're like, yeah, Luffy's kind of like every other shonen prototype.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? Luffy is not.
So I was like, oh look, another like
On like a
so-
surface level.
Yeah.
He starts off that way. I feel like in the early chapters, but as it
I
progresses,
also
you see him,
feel
like,
like
oh.
a lot of shonen characters kind of took from Luffy because I feel like
Yeah.
the really, really dumb shonen protagonists weren't really as popular before
Yeah.
Luffy came around. I mean, they existed. Like, you have Goku is the case in point example.
Goku is also a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Goku is really dumb. But Luffy's dumber.
I feel
Probably.
Luffy might be the dumbest
I don't
shonen
think Luffy
protagonist I've
could
seen.
pass like
Luffy literally
kindergarten
can't
math
recognize one of his closest friends when they're wearing a mask. So, I mean...
Like, I feel like it's a really
Neither can Chopper though.
Yeah.
Chopper's a doctor.
well. Chopper's also a reindeer, so like
Chopper's also an idiot.
He thinks
outside
all
of
humans look alike.
I mean,
In my
he's
mind-
not wrong.
like Chopper just like, what if you gave a dog a PhD? It's like, I trust the
Yo.
dog to help me.
They should
but-
have the dog
at
from
the end of
Dog
the
with
day-
a Blog play Chopper in the live action one.
And then the dog becomes a gun.
Yeah. Okay,
gun-
Thomas. What? Yeah, sure. What's your ranking outside of Robin? I guess.
So, like, not including Robin?
Yeah,
So-
and the other people that haven't shown up.
The 6. Okay. Chopper at the bottom.
Oh, I guess actually the 7.
Wait.
Where's Mary go?
I was gonna say
We'll count Mary.
we're not counting Vivi in this though, because in my mind she's
She-
technically part. Like she gets into the party and then
She's not
leaves the party.
according to, like, all the data books, she's 6.5.
Yeah.
So they don't count her as, like, a full crew member, but more of a half crew.
Do they count the Mary go as a crew member?
They don't, I don't believe.
That's a
but
shit.
Yeah.
but more or less, people count. When they were doing, like, the global popularity contest, which I think is still going on. I think that's just a forever thing now.
Yeah, I saw.
Shonen
You can vote for
Go
the ship
Daimon.
as the Straw Hat character. But anyway, yeah. So Chopper at the bottom. I think Chopper's got a really good initial backstory, but I feel like Chopper has never lived up to the potential that backstory kind of set up.
I think there's a few times, but I get it. Like I really like the thing he does and like the Annie's lobby stuff.
Yeah, that's probably like my favorite post Drum Island Chopper section right there. I could talk further on it, but I won't. Then it would probably be. This is hard because I really love the East Blue 5. Probably Usopp and Nami are pretty close to each other. I really
They're
like
pretty
both of
close.
them.
So they are
become
pretty
lovers. I could actually see them becoming like a. Is that gonna happen?
No, I mean,
But you could see it. They're
I
kind
honestly
of the
think-
closest.
I honestly
of-
think Nami might be a lesbian.
I could,
But-
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, she's said things about
Yeah.
women in the manga. She's been like, "Oh, lady's hot." She's literally been like, "Oh, lady's hot."
Yeah. Let's see. So I would probably. I don't know. I feel like they each have their strong points. I'll probably put Nami lower because she tries to extort money out of her crew members, which I think is not cool.
That's really cool. One of my favorite. They're officially higher than Luffy just because I forgot how much of a scumbag they could be sometimes.
It's like, you want to borrow this money and pay it back to me in the same day? Too bad I was saying it was going to be plus 300% interest. So it's like, god damn.
I feel like it's one of those things. I know she tries, but I feel like no one does that in the crew. Like, no.
To be honest, it feels more like
I feel like she
joke.
I feel like she is their, like, treasury.
She mostly just doesn't give them the money.
Yeah, she's in charge of distributing the money as well as navigating the ship. But yeah, so Nami, so it's Chopper, Nami, Usopp. Zoro and Sanji are hard. I really like Zoro, but I really like him for simplistic reasons.
He's epic.
I think Sanji is a more fleshed out and human character. But Zoro's just so cool, so I'm gonna Sanji, Zoro. And then Luffy, because I fucking love the rubber band.
Sanji would. I mean, as Zoro would play Gear and leave. It's like, he has a big sword. It's really simple. You just hit people, slice them up.
I don't think he would
like
like
Draven.
probably
Play
play
Yasuo.
Yeah.
Like Darius.
Yeah.
Because they can just go.
That's true.
So Crocodile reminds me a lot of Darius. That's all I think about when I was reading. If you look at that one guy from League with a big axe, I forgot his name, but it's Darius.
Yeah.
All right, and then I would put. I'd also put Chopper at the bottom. I like Chopper a lot though. And then I'd put Sanji. I also like Sanji a lot. I just like everybody else. Then I'd put Zoro. And then
I
Usopp.
think Usopp's better than Zoro.
Well, actually, at this point, maybe not. That's the thing. Like, Usopp goes places, you know? Usopp, like, might have the most, like, characterization after their initial stuff than, like, anyone else besides Luffy. At least in my...
At where you're at.
Yeah. And then Nami, and then Luffy. Because Nami's intro, like, Arlong Park's so fucking good.
It's good.
Just like, I don't know. I like the other characters more.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'd say the big, if in case you guys are curious, the big post, like, their arc development we get for characters is Robin, Usopp, Sanji, and yeah, I think that's
When you say Robin, like, post her arc, is her arc considered Alabaster?
yeah.
Okay, I was sure she has.
I guess, yeah, that makes sense because each one of the Straw Hats, like, the through line for them is they were discarded in one way or another.
Yeah. Like, Robin's like the only one that actually feels those, like, really like, oh, this is like the villain joining the crew now.
Robin's got my favorite out of all of the Straw Hat backstories, probably. Maybe Luffy does if I count his, like, other flashback that is very far away, where you two were at. You've read it.
Yeah, I just read it. It just happened.
But,
I got introduced to the Trash Man,
you did. The trash.
which I'd seen in the game, and I was like, who the fuck is
So
that?
they give Luffy another flashback. Like, they give more Luffy
Luffy
back.
has a few.
Because, like, the funny thing is, Ace shows up and is like, that's my brother Ace! And it's like, who? This character never
Which is
talks
really
about.
funny because when they go to that flashback, there are people in the village who are also like, who? Because of the way it works.
I was expecting when Ace shows up, it's like, who are you? It's like, Luffy, you don't remember me because I left when you were a baby or something.
I left
But I'm your older
You know, it's just like, oh, they know
hey,
who they
that's
are.
Ace. I know that guy. And it's like,
Yeah.
you never talked about this guy once.
I love that scene on the boat where Luffy's just like, yeah, I could beat him up. And then he's like, yeah, could you? Like, right behind him.
Yeah, that was good.
But yeah.
Especially reading their flashback.
Go read One Piece.
Yeah, I highly recommend One Piece.
This might be. I think I liked. And then I enjoyed Bleach, or that chunk of Bleach we read more than One
I
Piece.
did really enjoy it.
The only thing
so
is, I feel like I would put One Piece higher if I was able to trim some of the fat. Just like cut out certain arcs that I didn't enjoy. Like, if I can cut out the Usopp arc, Little Park can just go, or Little Garden, or whatever.
It can just go away.
Cut out that Usopp.
Any arc that has extensive focus on Usopp,
I
get rid of
think
it.
half
If we can take Usopp
Like-
and put him in another story,
of the
Then-
restaurant boat can go. I feel like that ended. Like, I liked some of that, but like it just kind of felt like it went on forever. Like, it went on a bit too long. Trying to think of any other arcs that I feel like kind of overstayed their welcome. The rest of Drum Island, I feel like also went on a bit long.
Man.
You know,
You know what?
if you could just have Luffy just straight up annihilate whoever he's fighting in like 2 pages,
I think
I would be.
the manga
A
should
lot
have
happier.
started with Luffy hopping in that barrel, and chapter 2 should have been him washing up where the One Piece is, and just taking care of it right there.
Yep,
2 chapters and done.
I agree.
I like stories that are a bunch of weirdos going on a big adventure, usually on like a ship.
But if they were in space,
If it was set in space, this would be like the best manga ever.
Maybe the sequel.
Maybe.
But
1 star.
like, I would definitely
Big
seven,
piece.
like as a whole, 7 out of 10. If I were to only do like the big 2 Arlong Park and Alabaster, it's an 8.5, 9 out of 10. I really liked both of those.
Highly recommend it. It's one of the most popular selling comics in the world for a reason. Because it's very good and a lot of people like it.
And it's got a lot of volumes.
It's fucking ginormous. Just chapter 1, page 1, just
I was
start.
looking and I'm like,
Maybe I should start collecting One Piece.
I-
That would cost a lot of money.
I think
Never
You
mind.
can get, like for $100, you can get like 23 of the volumes on like those box sets. That's the most cost efficient way to collect the
someone
series.
should just start on 160.
They've also got the omnibuses.
I don't know, I feel like
we have all of them. Or we have the triple
Yeah.
ones.
I own both.
You own both?
I
Of
own
how much? All of it?
I own all of the single volumes, and I own...
You own all of the single volumes of One Piece.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I own,
That's so much
I own
money.
all of
Like you
the
picked
single
them
volumes
all on
of
that
One Piece.
shelf.
Yeah.
Like in the bookcase.
Yeah.
There's-
go to
there's-
the middle of the... what, is there 90 right now?
It would probably fill up that bookcase.
Because that is 50. So
Yeah, I've got like a little 4 thing that I used to have it on, but I moved it to my other shelf, and then I've got all pre-time skip in the omnibuses too, and then
Why
I
haven't
have
you given me these?
because they're mine. Those are my beat 'em up copies. I was gonna let you borrow them for this if you wanted to read it in physical, but you guys were like, "I got the Shonen Jump app." And I was like,
Yeah,
So I get sponsored by the Shonen Jump app.
Yeah. Hey, Shonen! Let me write a manga for you. I can't draw for shit, but just have, like...
The One Piece guy draw.
Yeah, have Oja draw more. He
Yeah.
loves drawing.
Give him more work.
He'd be happy.
There's a light novel based on Ace that Boichi is currently adapting into a manga.
Who?
He did
Dr.
the
Stone.
art.
Oh,
for
yeah, you
Dr.
told me that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who wrote the light novel?
I think Oda did some like story for it, but he didn't write it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you read it?
No, I bought them, but I haven't had a chance to read them yet.
So next time on Read... No, just Read Weens, episode 4.5.
I mean, I'll read them.
Okay, I guess we're letting Pierre pick.
Yeah, Pierre. What's your choice?
Well, I've been thinking very hard over the past 2 days, and as I've been running out of time, because I read One Piece, I had a backup that I was gonna get people to read, mainly because London probably doesn't want to read it.
No.
I was going to say we read the first 12 volumes of Beastars.
It's about what I expect.
It's not a lot compared to like all this One Piece, but that's also because this One Piece barrage overwhelms me. Because I only have so much free
Could have
time.
picked the Bionicle books.
I almost picked the Bionicle books.
You could have picked book 1 of Aragon.
But like,
Pierre likes pictures. Pierre needs pictures.
Yeah, like the picture.
I
That's not true because last time I talked to Pierre, he's like, yeah, when I'm reading manga, I usually just skip the pictures.
yeah, and to be honest, I don't look at all of the artwork.
But then you wouldn't read Worm because you said there's no picture.
because I might want to see a picture.
It just turns out
That's the
this whole
best thing
time
about
Pierre doesn't
manga.
read any of it.
Pierre doesn't know how to read.
He just kind of is really good at improvising and like picking up
No, he said
context.
he said on an episode of Screen Weens not too long ago that he just spark notes.
Of worms?
You were talking about like, wouldn't it be funny? Like, I've always entertained the thought of like spark noting a movie and pretending that I watched it.
just getting on the podcast weekly and just never watching the movie.
Yeah.
It's like, I just look at Spark Notes or the Wikia and just kind of like skim through it in an afternoon.
But yeah, in 1 month, we will have read the first 12 volumes of Beastars.
Yeah, that goes up to where the second season ends. And where it, from what I know, the story, the first half of the story ends around there too. Before the second half of Beastars truly starts.
Volume 12 isn't even available in physical copies yet.
Yeah.
But Pierre's gonna buy all 11.
I don't know if I'm going to actually buy the physical copies.
You should.
You already have one. You
Yeah.
have to buy 10 more.
It's like $100.
It's like $130.
I could buy an Xbox with that. I like to quantify
What kind
money.
of Xbox?
360.
You could buy an Xbox 360 for like $40.
Yeah.
Wait, are Xbox 360s losing their value?
I mean, look on Facebook Marketplace. I see like Xbox 360s there like every day.
We should
I'm gonna check
quantify money based on how many Xbox 360 you can buy.
We should just get rid of money and only use Xbox 360s as currency.
That's good too.
Only trade in whole Xboxes.
Whole Xboxes,
Yeah.
not individual components.
Correct.
Well, no, the change will be the cords.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get London 3 Beastars, and I guess you guys too if you want to continue being on Read Weens.
Yeah, guys, I'm done as I'm out of
It's
here.
just me and
Goodbye.
Pierre next episode.
We are
I thought that's how
after
it
this
works.
time though. You do have a punch card system.
Yeah.
Because I get to read Worms and then your book about wolves and vans.
Legolas has a van in season 2.
He does. He gets a van.
Alright.
Okay, bye everyone!
Get out of my room.
Try not to die.
Yeah.